Hi, I'm Tyler, and welcome to another episode of my Christian Music Week reviews. Each week I take 5 releases, albums, EPs, or singles, and after I listen to them all week, I come back here and I review them. I share what I think about them. So without further ado, let's get to this week's first release. Chris Tomlin's new single, featuring Brandon Lake of Buffalo Music, I See You. Chris Tomlin's new single featuring Buffalo Music's Brandon Lake, I See You. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good worship track here, stylistically. Instrumentally here, we have, at the start of the track, we have piano, bass guitar, bass, some synth, electric guitar, and drum enters the song more as the song goes on. Enters into chorus, and then it's into verses more as the song goes on. And then goes out with violin. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here. Chris and Brandon sing about how they see God and how he's faithfully with them and blesses them with new mercies every moment of their life story, regardless of what season it is. Up next, the live version of Lauren Daigle's new single, Tremble. The live version of Lauren Daigle's new song, Tremble. Let's dive into it. So, the studio version is coming in 2 weeks, but she put out the live version first a week ago because that's the version of this song people are familiar with. And pretty good new song here. Stylistically, a mix of gospel and jazz here. Instrumentally, we have piano, trumpet, bass guitar, drum, and some organ and electric guitar as well. We also have a gospel choir on this track, and as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here. And worshipful lyrics as well, as Lauren sings about how she'll tremble at God's presence alone for his jealous love and breathtaking power. She will live in wonder of that. Up next, Red Rocks Worship's new EP, Things of Heaven, Where We're Going. Red Rocks Worship's new EP, Things of Heaven, Where We're Going, the follow-up to their EP from earlier this year, Things of Heaven, Where We Come From, which I also reviewed on this channel, by the way. So you can go check that out after we're done if you want to. But let's dive into Things of Heaven, Where We're Going, because that's what we're here for today. Stylistically here, definitely a worship release. Pretty good worship release here. Instrumentally, we have bass guitar, electric guitar, drum, and piano. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrical themes here as well. Talks about how even when all hope seems gone, we can rejoice when we surrender our battles to God. He breaks every stronghold, even death. Just as death can hold Jesus back, it can't hold us back. Also talks about how our enemy is the devil is so weak that all we have to do is start praising God and the enemy runs away. Also talks about wanting a glimpse of God's glory through his presence. Up next, the Letter Black self-titled album. The Letter Black self-titled album. Let's dive into it. So, a little backstory here. This is their first album in a few years because they took a hiatus to focus on their family. But last year, they started re-emerging, signed to Rockfest Records, and now they put out a brand new album. Let's dive into it. So, first of all, let me say my thoughts on it. So, has a good sound here, and I got more into it as I listened to it more. However, at first, I wasn't a big fan of their lead singer's vocals on this album at some points. I felt like I wish she came in a little stronger, but that's just my take, and I got past it a little bit more as I listened to the album, but there's still some parts I wish her voice came on stronger, but that's just my take. I do enjoy her voice in some parts of this album, though, to be clear. And now let's dive into sound. So, overall, a hard rock album with some electronic influence, with some definite electronic influence for sure. Pretty heavy overall. Only one ballad on this album, in the song Tomorrows. And as for vocals here, we have singing on a lot of the tracks, but we do have screams on 4 of the tracks as well. And Susan Anthony does the lead vocals, but her husband and guitarist Mark Anthony also sings on some of the tracks with her. We also have a couple guest vocalists on this album as well. Rapper Blake Whiteley and Downs with Crutch lead singer Trevor McNevin. Now let's dive into lyrics here. Pretty good lyrics here. Talks about looking to God to rise from the past into who you're meant to be, no matter what kisses of death the devil may throw at us. Also talks about resting in the fact that God won't let us go and holds all of our tomorrows. Up next, our last release for today, John Keefe's new album, Summertime in the Village. John Keefe's new album, Summertime in the Village. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good album here. Stylistically, definitely got some hip hop and pop feels. Definitely feel good and perfect for the summertime, as the title suggests. Instrumentally, here we have bass guitar, bass, synth, drum, piano, and we also have some acoustic guitar too at the later parts of the album. As for the vocals here, singing dominates, but definitely some sing rapping and even a little straight up rapping as well. And as for the lyrics here, he talks about how he and his fiance are opposites and talks about how they tend to drown in each other's problem, drown in their own problems alone. And John is talking about how they need to be there for each other with their problems. And then the second to last song talks about how he goes to God needing peace for his problems. And then the final track, 24K, which originally appeared on Indie Tribe's album earlier this year, which I reviewed on this channel, by the way. You can go and check it out if you're interested. But anyhow, that song talks about how even though life has tried to put him into a casket, with Jesus, he will rise up like a diamond. Well, that's it for this week. Come back next week for 5 more releases. If you like what you saw in this video, please subscribe. Also, if you have any thoughts on today's releases or what I said about them, let me know down in the comments below. Remember, I drop videos every Friday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. Also, in the comment section, you can let me know if there's any awesome releases that came out today that you want to see in next week's video. Also, check out the playlist section for my Music Muffins Rain playlist, available here on YouTube and on Spotify, including artists like Aaron Schust, Cannon, Matthew West, and others. So go and check that out if you're interested. Well, go now. See you next week. Bye!